Hello and welcome to the Golden One Center here in Sacramento, California on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. We welcome you to the CIF Sac Joaquin section basketball championships. We got 12 games lined up over the next 2 days here at the Golden One Center. The first up is the Division VI girls game. It's actually our only rematch of last year's championship game out of all of the 12 games that we're going to see here over the course of these 2 days between the 2-seed Sac Adventist Capitals and the top-seeded Faith Christian Lions. Alongside my broadcast partner, Kyle Morrison, I'm Matthew Bissett, and we welcome you today to the Golden One Center. We thank you so much for joining us here on the NFHS Network. Kyle, it's so much fun being in this building. I mean, I'm a little older than the players that are going to be competing, and I'm fired up, so you can only imagine how they're feeling.
Yeah, I was walking into the arena today with actually Abby Carreri. She was walking in with me, a member of the Sacramento Adventist team, and I was talking to her just about how cool it is to be in this setting, be in an NBA arena, and I'm sure for the girls it is absolutely surreal to be on the court right now. But for me right now, it's surreal as well, getting to broadcast a game with you at such an incredible venue here at the Golden One Center.
Absolutely, and we mentioned that this is a rematch of last year's championship between Faith and Sac Adventist. Sac Adventist was an underdog of sorts last year, and ended up knocking off the top-seeded Faith Christian Lions. Faith Christian was the defending champion coming into last year already, and Sac Adventist beat them. That game was played at UC Davis, though. There was a Madonna concert last year, so they had to switch some things around, and they played that game at UC Davis, not here at the Golden One Center. So this year, these two teams meeting up again. They've already met twice in league play. Faith Christian won both of those, and they are loaded with stars at Faith Christian. I mean, you talk about Lauren Harris is one of the top scorers, not only in the section, not only in the state, but in the country, as she averages just under 30 points a game at 28.7 points per contest. But she's got some star players around her, and Presley Berry and Mia Bryan, and those three are one of the most talented trios of girls basketball players in any division in the entire section.
Yeah, Sacramento Adventist has their hands full on defense, and you look at Lauren Harris. I talked to head coach of Faith Christian, Jeff Harris, Jeff Harris, also Lauren Harris's dad, by the way, just about what kind of challenges Lauren Harris presents to opposing defenses, and he talked about how every team tries to run something different against Lauren Harris, but when you have a player who's second in the nation, in three-pointers made, that just creates so much spacing for your offense and allows those other stars to do what they are able to do throughout the game.
Yeah, she is. She can shoot it with the best of them. And then for Sac Adventist, it's been a bit of a tumultuous year for them. Their head coach, Kenny Johnston, had to step down for some personal reasons. Not really going to get into it. Nobody really knows what's happening there, but we just wish Kenny all the luck. So their former boys basketball coach, former section and state championship winning boys basketball coach, Scott Tedman, stepped in to take over the program after Kenny Johnson stepped out. And their best player, their star player from last year's team, Victoria Fowler, also suffered an injury. She has not played in I think about a month's time now, and she's out here today. She's suited up. She's going to get some minutes. She won't be in the starting lineup, but they have gone through a lot this year, and so anytime you've dealt with that adversity, even to make it to this game is such an accomplishment for these young ladies of Sac Adventist.
Yeah, Sac Adventist, they do not lack in mental fortitude or the ability to go against adversity. They also have that championship DNA that we talked about last year, and I talked to Scott Tedman about his approach taking over this program, obviously an established program. They won the championship last year, and he just said that it was the first time he ever had to scout his own players, ever had to figure out what he had on his own team. But hey, you can't go wrong when you have a legendary coach like Scott Tedman in the waiting to take over your program when you're in a time of need. And there's not going to be a single situation in this game that's going to flummox him. I can promise you that. He'll be getting his girls ready to go, and they will be in the best position they possibly can be to give Faith Christian the best game they can.
Yeah, and what a story it is. Again, just getting here for this team. I know they are the defending champions, but usually stuff like an injury to your star player or a coaching change, that can throw off any team, and even if you do have that championship DNA. But a credit to this team, and they have some resilient players. Gwen Rosick is she's kind of the head of the monster, right? She's the one who's going to lead the charge for this team. A super athlete. She actually was our player of the game last year in the championship game. Kyla Friedrich is a fantastic athlete. Bella Placea is just getting better every single game for the Capitals. Jasmine Rodriguez, the point guard, she's a dog for them. So it is a fantastic team, and we're going to step away for the national anthem, and we will be back for the tip-off, first of 12 tip-offs here at the Golden One Center on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions.
Placing your hands over our hearts as we proudly listen high school student, Zena Bettencourt. Thank you, Zena. Spectators, family members, and fans.
Boy, nothing like a live anthem to kick off some big-time championship basketball action here on the biggest stage that Sacramento has to offer. We're going to jump right in and discuss the brackets and the way these two teams got to this point. For the top-seeded Faith Christian Lions, they were the 1 seed. They had a bye through the second round of the playoffs where they took on Stone Ridge Christian, winning that game by 30, 73-43. And then after that, they took on Vacaville Christian, and that game was another lopsided victory in favor of the Lions, 83-34. So they haven't played a close game in quite some time, have these Lions, and you always wonder how they'll react to a close contest. For Sac Adventist, they also had a bye as the 2 seed. Their first matchup was against Forest Hill, who actually, Forest Hill was right here in this building, taking on Faith Christian 2 years ago in the championship, and Sac Adventist beat them 53-31. And then they took on the Sac Waldorf Waves in the semifinals and knocked them off by a score of 53-34. As these starters get announced right here in front of us, we'll give you the starting lineups for both of these teams. For Sac Adventist, the visiting team today, number 2, Jasmine Rodriguez, the senior point guard. Number 3, Gwen Rosick, the junior. Number 5, Michaela Meza, the senior sharpshooter. Number 13, Bella Placea, maybe the most improved player on this team. And then number 21, the youngster, the sophomore, Kyla Friedrich, rounds out the starting 5 for Coach Scott Tedman. And you mentioned Coach Jeff Harris. Fun fact about Jeff Harris, he actually played basketball at Faith Christian. He played at Arco Arena in the 1998 section championship game against Brookside Christian, and they lost that game. Brookside Christian went on to win a state championship. So he has been a part of this Faith Christian basketball program for quite some time, whether boys or girls, as a player or coach. The starting lineup for Coach Jeff Harris and the Lions, it's his daughter, number 5, Lauren Harris. Mia Bryan, the sophomore, and she has been electric this year, and a really nice compliment to the 2 stars up top for Faith Christian. And then number 15, Hannah Hessong. Number 21, Presley Berry, 19 points a game, and she is a fantastic junior. And then number 42, Mandy Fitzgerald, the sophomore, rounds out that starting 5 for Faith Christian. Boy, we're almost ready for some basketball here, Kyle. I can't even tell you the excitement for this.
Yeah, it's crazy because obviously this is a huge arena that can house 18,000 people and change. And even though there's probably a couple hundred here right now, it still feels full just with the noise and the energy that is palpable right now in this building. I mean, you have students from both sides, you have the cheerleaders from both sides, and you can tell that this is just such a cool moment for these girls who have worked their way to this point, getting to be on this stage, be in this arena. My, oh my, this is something they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. And obviously the team that wins this is going to really have a memory that's going to last forever.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the student section. Keep in mind, this is Division 6. These are the smallest of the small schools in the section. And you wouldn't know it looking at these two student sections. Faith Christian has an enrollment of 50 kids at their high school. They have more than 50 kids here today. Granted, some of them might be from the middle school / elementary school, but this is a great turnout for these small school programs. And you can't tell anybody in this building that small school basketball doesn't matter, because you're playing on this stage, you can play some hoops. And we got a good one set up here. Like I said, of the 12 games we're going to cover here in the next 2 days, this is the only one that's a rematch of last year's championship game. And both these teams are loaded with athletes, and it is going to be fun to watch. And I just can't wait to hear the reception for Victoria Fowler when she checks into the game for the first time. It'll be Presley Berry and Bella Placea to tip it off. Last time these two teams met in early February, Faith Christian beat the Capitals 66-40. Last year, it was one of the best games we got when these two teams took the floor at UC Davis. The Capitals in their road black uniforms, Faith Christian, their home whites, as Presley Berry wins the opening tip. And we're underway here at Golden One. Placea nearly comes up with a steal on the game's opening possession. Here's Harris in the corner, 3 on the way. Too strong. Rebound, Karams to Kyla Friedrich.
It'll be interesting to see if Lauren Harris can kind of taper those nerves here. You know that she's got a lot of pressure on her, being that she's going to be the focal point of this offense as always. And in the big games, you need your big players to step up.
Here's Rodriguez on the wing. Out to Friedrich. Friedrich, shot clock running out. Michaela Meza will heave it at the horn. It catches iron, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, you didn't really see much dribble penetration there from Sacramento Adventist. They kind of just passed it around the perimeter and really didn't get much going. Faith Christian doing a good job of guarding the perimeter shots. And now you're seeing Lauren Harris getting double teamed. You'll probably see that most of the game.
The pass over the top to Mia Bryan, and she's able to save it. Presley Berry with a short jump shot, and that rolls around but out. Gwen Rosick with the rebound, so it was a great athletic play there to save it.
It's going to be on those other Faith Christian stars, Bryan, as well as Berry, to score in this game. As you can tell, Sacramento Adventists, they're not going to let Lauren Harris have anything easy in this entire contest.
Sorry, we had a bit of a technical issue. It wouldn't be high school sports broadcasting if there wasn't a technical issue to start a big championship game. Presley Berry actually just got the first basket of the game for Faith Christian as they take a 2-0 lead. Kyla Friedrich is fouled, and she'll head to the line. So Berry, first bucket of this game, 5:26 to go first quarter. Once again, alongside Kyle Morrison, I'm Matthew Bissett. Sorry, folks, we lost you there for a moment. We are back up and running as we had an issue with our score strip. We couldn't get the score and time updated for you. So Friedrich at the line. Berry the first 2 points of the game, and Friedrich hits the first free throw.
That was really the first time this entire game where Sacramento Adventist was able to get any sort of penetration into the interior of the Faith Christian defense. And good things happen. Friedrich gets to the line and she knocks down 2 free throws.
And she is the quarterback of the Capitals flag football team and a tremendous athlete. You can see not scared of the moment as the sophomore knocks down both free throws. Here's Harris trying to get to her left hand. Down low to Berry. Berry lays it up, rims out. That rebound's going to be off of the Capitals and out of bounds. That was a nice feed from Harris there, and you see Berry kind of acknowledge it. That's on me. I got to finish those.
Right now, the Faith Christian size is really bothering Sacramento Adventist, especially on the offensive boards.
Berry's going to pull from 3. This one's short. Long rebound to Rodriguez.
Sacramento Adventist has to consider themselves pretty lucky. Faith Christian's missed some open shots early in this game, and they're tied 2-2 right now.
From the top of the key, Rodriguez shot is no good. Good box out and rebound there by Harris. Here comes Lauren Harris across midcourt, little round the back dribble. Harris from the elbow. Too strong, rebound, tapped out of bounds. This will go back to the Capitals. Michaela Meza doing a nice job battling with the much taller Presley Berry down there. Berry listed at 6 feet tall. I think she's grown probably about 3 inches since last year. And she's grown in her game as well. Her dad, an assistant coach with this team. Rodriguez in the corner, Rosick. Rosick will pull from the corner. Off the mark, rebound. Meza fights for it with Fitzgerald, and that's going to be a jump ball. Possession will belong to the Capitals. So offense, a little tough to come by early in this one as we're tied at 2 early on, Kyle. But that's kind of what we see in these big games is it's hard for these kids to kind of find their depth perception, and maybe the juices are flowing here.
I think both defenses have been really good, too. On the Sacramento Adventist side, they're doing a good job of throwing a lot of bodies at Lauren Harris, kind of keeping her confused. And then on the other side, Faith Christian, they're playing a 2-3 zone right now. And Sacramento Adventist just has not really found a way to break that zone so far.
Yeah, the Capitals got hot from 3 in last year's championship, and that was kind of the difference. Here's a floater by Rosick, and she found a way to penetrate right on cue, partner. She made you look good. Gwen Rosick, unafraid as she hits the floater.
Rosick had a triple-double in the second round of the SGS tournament.
Harris with a little runner, no good. Rosick battling for the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball. Now the possession arrow favors the Lions. 3:59 to go here, first quarter. Again, we're at Golden One Center. It's the D6 CIF Sac Joaquin Section Girls Basketball Championship, and we welcome you to the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. Here's Berry. Off the screen, Berry rises up, and she's fouled. And the cardinal rule of basketball was just broken, fouling a jump shooter, as that'll send Presley Berry to the line, the impressive junior, averaging 19 points and 8.5 rebounds per game. Also 2.7 assists, which when you play off the ball a lot, that's a remarkable number, that 2.7 assists per game. Berry's first free throw is good.
Yeah, Berry.
All 3 points for the Lions. Go ahead, partner.
Yeah, Berry's such a physical presence. Sometimes it can be hard when you're trying to play such aggressive a defense against her not to foul her. And I really think she's going to be the key to this game for Faith Christian. We know Sacramento Adventist, they're going to focus all their efforts in trying to stop Lauren Harris. Can Berry come up with the big plays in the big moments to help Faith Christian win this game?
And each team has knocked down their 2 free throw attempts so far, and that's usually a big thing in these championship games. Kyla Friedrich from the corner. This one rattles out. Berry snatches the rebound. Up ahead to Bryan. Here comes Mia Bryan on the break. She goes up, shot blocked by Friedrich. And then a foul on the rebound. The transition defense there by the Capitals. Sensational.
Friedrich playing bigger than her size, only 5'7", but got up for the block there. This is, although she's an underclassman, she's got credentials. Top underclassman, was ranked a top underclassman in the Sacramento area by the Sacramento Bee, and scored 13 points in last year's championship against Faith Christian.
4-4, just over 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Here's Friedrich. Out to Rosick. Rosick kind of got loose with the handle there. There's Rosick on the wing. She'll fire from 3. This one's in and out. Rebound is tapped around and out. Good job of battling down there. Bella Placea. Coach Tedman calls her a little monster. She has just grown so much in the few weeks since Coach Tedman took over the team, and she is the interior presence, which is going to be big for this team as they're going up against the much larger Lions. Rosick from the corner. This is too strong, but Rodriguez is right there for the board. Rodriguez in the lane. Throws it up, no good. Placea with the rebound, and good defense there as Fitzgerald and Harris surrounded the rebounder, Placea, and that's a nice pass on the break. Harris finds Berry, and Berry's heading back to the foul line. Boy, at 6 feet, Berry runs the court so well, and Lauren Harris's vision is just about as good as you're going to find. She finds her teammate running the floor, and Berry back to the line.
Yeah, she's so hard to guard, especially because there's nobody on the Sacramento Adventist team that's on the court right now who's over 6 feet tall. So it's just such a mismatch. And, you know, we talked about Bella Placea. I mean, she's playing with a lot of heart above her height, but even then, sometimes when you're just bigger, you just have certain advantages you can't get over.
Bryan with the offensive rebound off the missed free throw. Can't get the lay-in to go, and then there's a foul in the backcourt as Meza's fouled. I believe that's going to be the 4th team foul.
Fouls on Faith Christian, number 42, Mandy Fitzgerald, or first.
Yeah, that's the 3rd team foul, excuse me. So both teams 3 team fouls as we have 2:36 to go here in the first quarter. One more foul to give each way. Here's Rodriguez in the corner to Friedrich. They'll reset it out top to Rosick. Rodriguez on the wing. She'll fire away. This one's too strong. Rebound fought for. And Placea and Fitzgerald battling. It's going to be another jump ball. And possession arrow does favor the Capitals.
We talked a little bit about Placea so far, averaging 5.8 points per game and 7.9 rebounds per game. When you have that kind of rebound numbers, you're obviously someone who's not afraid to do the dirty work, and that's what Placea was doing right there. And look, Sacramento Adventists, they're being dared right now by Faith Christian to come inside. And because of Faith Christian's size advantage, I really think it's going to be key for Sacramento Adventists to make their jump shots, which so far they've been a little shaky early in this game.
So they put the shot clock at 9 seconds. I thought the Faith Christian player had possession of that first, but they say no possession. Oh, nice little inbound play there. Friedrich can't handle the pass. Placea, mid-range shot, no good. As back come the Lions. Here comes Lauren Harris. Has yet to score, but once she gets going, you can watch out. You don't score 28 points a game by mistake. Harris gets her left hand, 3 on the way. Good! Lauren Harris knocks down a triple. One of the leading 3-point shooters in the nation. 13.8 rebounds a game, 7 assists a game. But the 3 ball, that's kind of her specialty. And Harris with a defensive rebound. Now the Lions want to run. Harris pulls up. Another 3 and it's good. Back-to-back triples. Lauren Harris.
Well, now you're in trouble with your Sacramento Adventists because Harris has found her ground, and she is hot all of a sudden. I think those nerves have worn off.
Over 2,300 points in her career. Broke her sister's school scoring record earlier this year. Friedrich off glass, no good. Placea with the rebound. Placea goes back up, and the lid is on the rim, on the bucket for the Capitals. Pass from Harris to Bryan. Bryan lays it up and in. 8 points quickly for the Lions. The last 3 possessions. Under a minute to go here, first quarter.
All the momentum on the Faith Christian side right now. It'll be interesting to see if Scott Tebben decides to call a timeout anytime soon.
Here's Placea. Out to Rodriguez. Rodriguez has a hard time with the pass. Now she's stuck in the corner. And the pass is knocked away. Good defense by Barry there as Fitzgerald controls the loose ball. Now here comes Barry on the break. Barry steps through, lefty lay-in, no good, but she's fouled. This one's going to go on Friedrich. That's her first, and they'll send Barry back to the line for the 3rd time in this game.
You can tell Friedrich was a little frustrated with that foul call, but again, Barry just so physically imposing. She gets inside. That's really the only thing you can do is try to whack her so that she doesn't make the open layup.
Yeah, and so often the calls will go to the aggressor, and right now the Lions are in attack mode. As Barry's off to a fantastic start in this one. Made 4 of 5 free throws. She's up to 6 points. She's got another free throw pending here. Second free throw good. 7 points for Barry. 5 of 6 from the line.
And there was that ovation you were looking for Victoria Fowler as she comes into the game for the first time.
Victoria Fowler, been out about a month or so, back on the floor. Meza from the corner. This one's too strong. And the rebound. Good job by Fitzgerald to corral it. And back comes Harris. 10 seconds to go first quarter. Harris will heave from 3. Too strong. Oh, and a collision over there with the official. Let's see who the call is on. I think it's going to be on Barry. Or is she going to be the foul shooter? Oh, the foul's going to be on Fowler. And now Barry will head back to the line because the Capitals, that's their 5th team foul. So Sac Adventists already trailing by 11, and Barry, who has just been fantastic in the early going here for the Lions, she hits another free throw. Now 6 of 7 at the charity stripe. Second free throw rattles home. 3 seconds. Here comes Meza. Meza will put it up. Not going to get there. Flurry to end the first quarter by the Lions. They're up 17-4 after 1 here in the D6 championship game in the Sac Joaquin section. We'll be back from the Golden One Center. Back here at Golden One. It'll be Lions basketball to start the second quarter. Again, the fan turnout for this D6 championship. Fantastic. As we're here at the home of the Kings in Sacramento. Here's Lauren Harris, little give and go, and she buries her third triple of the game. She got it over to Abby Cunningham. Cunningham fed it right back to her. And Harris, 9 points in the game. Her and Barry leading the way as they tend to do. Here's Rodriguez out to Rosick. Now it's Friedrich. She'll fire from three. This is too strong. Rebound taken away by Harris. Good battle in there by Fitzgerald. Harris, little hesitation, looking for Mia Bryan cross court. Has it stripped. And now the ball's on the deck. And it's over to Fowler. So here's Victoria Fowler's first touch of the basketball, I believe. Meza from three. Got it! Oh, if the Capitals ever needed a bucket, it's that one right there from Michaela Meza.
We'll see if that gets the Sacramento Adventist offense going. Before that, they had no luck shooting from outside the interior. They're going to need to make some of those exterior shots if they want any chance of getting back into this one.
Meza averages 8.6 points a game. Rebound tapped around. Fitzgerald comes away with it. Jump ball. It'll belong to Sac Adventist. So Fitzgerald, Cunningham, Hessong, you know, these girls, they don't get a lot of the, you know, the glory for this Faith Christian team, but they're always setting the screens, always hustling on defense, always rebounding. And they're every bit a part of the success of this Faith Christian team as the Stars. Well, that pass just behind Friedrich. Friedrich went to kind of cut there, and Rosick threw it behind her as Rosick says, that's on me. 20-7. Just about a minute 30 here into the second quarter.
So obviously this is my first time seeing this Faith Christian team. And to me, this Lauren Harris, Presley Berry pick and roll.
Harris from deep, too strong. Fitzgerald with the rebound, right back to Berry. Her three, good! Again, there's Fitzgerald showing up. Offensive rebound, extra shot, and Berry knocks it down. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Capitals will stay right here with it. Go ahead and finish your thought, partner.
I was going to say, this pick and roll between Lauren Harris and Presley Berry is just so impossible to guard, especially if you don't have someone who has the size to guard Berry, because you have to double team Harris, and that leaves Berry single teamed on the interior, and she's just so much bigger than everyone else and such an effective scorer.
And then Mia Bryan also is kind of that third part of the equation where she's always working underneath the hoop. So if you want to dedicate extra players to the perimeter, she is so good down there. She has fantastic hands. She's athletic. She has a nose for the basketball, and that's just what makes this team so hard to guard. Keep in mind, when they played last year in the championship game, those three girls were on the floor. It was a freshman and two sophomores. Now you can see the growth here as two juniors and a sophomore. And I mean, to think about what it's going to look like next year, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but let's just say it's going to be scary.
And you can tell that they have been grizzled by that championship loss last year. They came out here and they are not taking any prisoners so far early.
Here's Friedrich, top of the key, to Plessé at the elbow. Meza for three. This one's short. Rebound Harris. She averages 13 a game, and now she'll push it. Up ahead to Berry. Berry drives to her left hand. Down low to Bryan. No good on the lay-in. Rebound fought for. Berry's going to save it. Now the Capitals want to run. First time we've really seen the Capitals try to get out in transition. Rodriguez kind of lost it a bit there. That stops the transition play. And that's going to be a foul on Harris as Meza drives in. This will send Michaela Meza to the free throw line.
I know it's easier said than done because Faith Christian is just so much bigger than Sacramento Adventist, but it seems every time Sacramento Adventist gets inside, doesn't settle for those perimeter jump shots, which they've had trouble with so far in this game. Good things happen. They're still finding ways to get to the line. It'll be interesting to see if that's an adjustment Scott Tedman makes throughout the rest of the game, trying to just drive inside a little bit more, maybe get more open exterior shots just by sucking in the defense.
Meza sinks both free throws. How about the free throw shooting from both teams today? I mean, Berry's 7 of 8. She's had all the free throws for Faith Christian, and the Capitals 4 of 4. Free throw shooting can sometimes be an adventure at the high school level as they surround Harris. She gets some opening three on the way is just a bit too strong as Rodriguez secures the rebound. Harris already has 9.7 rebounds. Here's Meza. Out to Rodriguez, 15 seconds to shoot. Now Rosick. Down to Placea. Good job by Placea to get that ball, that pass, and then just can't quite finish it. And loses the offensive rebound out of bounds. It'll go back to the Lions. And now Coach Harris wants a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. So with 4:38 to go first half, we'll take a break here from the Golden One Center on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. Back out of the timeout. I think that might have been one where the pace of the game had picked up, and oftentimes with these smaller schools, you don't have the depth off of your bench, and so maybe Coach Harris on this bigger floor, and keep in mind, this floor is probably a good 20 feet longer than what these teams are used to playing on in their normal gyms, so certainly taking a breather there was needed, I think, for Faith Christian as the pace of the game was picking up. Here's a turnover. When Rosick pushes it up ahead, Placea steps in the lane, and the pass is deflected as she was looking for Friedrich. And then there's going to be a foul called, I think, on Barry. And you'd love to see the sportsmanship there as Friedrich helps Barry up off the floor. You know, they give it a sportsmanship award after these games, and that's one of the best things that you can imagine the section does because, hey, let's recognize that the human beings across from you are more important than the game itself. Although all these players want to win. Rosick for three. This one's going to be short. Placea's down there for the offensive rebound. Well, that's a tough break there for the Capitals as the shot clock never started, but they were going to have an open look at a layup if the whistle hadn't blown.
That was a deep three there, too, by Rosick.
You know, sometimes you see that, right? Because in a high school gym, you don't have the NBA three-point line. So when you just see a line at your feet, you just, oh, this is my three-pointer, you know? And so it happens a lot. It's something that is an adjustment for these kids. I don't think they'd change it for the world because playing on this floor is, you know, it's so special, but it is something that throws them off because you don't have all these lines on the normal high school floor. Yeah,
and we talked a little bit about depth perception earlier. That's also a factor here for some of these shooters. I mean, this is a much different shooting backing, a shooting view than you would have in your local gym. That's for sure.
15 seconds to shoot here, 4 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Rosick. Out to Friedrich. Rodriguez, good ball movement, but this zone for the Lions is putting a lot of pressure on. Rosick's going to have to heave it. This one's just a bit strong, and Fitzgerald with another rebound. Boy, Mandy Fitzgerald, 4 rebounds already in the game. She only averaged 2.2 rebounds a game on the year. 5.7 rebounds a game on the year. Harris with the floater, no good. Meza with the rebound, and she's fouled by Barry. As Barry came over the back a bit, that's going to be the third foul on Presley Barry.
That's her second foul.
They just put it up on the scoreboard quicker than the announcement. So second foul on Presley Barry.
Still something to watch, though, when you consider how much she plays on the inside. So 2 fouls, I can catch up to you pretty quickly when you're only in the second quarter.
Faith Christian, 3 team fouls in the corner. Just one more to give here in this frame. Try to get inside to Placea. Good active hands there by Barry to get her hands on it. Shot clock at 11, 3:14 to go here first half. It's the D6 Girls Championship. We'll have D6 Boys next between Stone Ridge Christian and Sac Waldorf. Stone Ridge Christian, the defending champions there. Meza from the corner. This one's short. And Mia Bryan secures the rebound. Now Bryan wants to push it. Bryan beats the defense. And then going to get stuck on the baseline. That's a great job by Rosick. tying up that ball. That's a pretty quick jump ball, though.
I was going to say.
That looks more like a deflection to me, but the jump ball will save the possession momentarily for the Lions. 24 seconds to shoot.
That's a big break for Faith Christian right there.
Here's Barry. And that's going to be a moving screen on Bryan. Yeah, I think Barry kind of activated just a bit early there, and Mia Bryan wasn't quite set.
Well, you know what they say, partner. Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. So Gwen Rosick to inbound. 2:59 to go here. The offense, the defense for the Capitals hasn't been bad. It's just their offense has been struggling a bit. Only 9 points here with under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Placea in the lane, no good. Fighting for the rebound, her and Harris, and the foul's going to be called on Placea.
You can tell Placea is just working so hard inside right now. She's battling girls who are well taller than her, and she's doing an admirable job of working down there. But at a certain point, the size just becomes too big of a factor, I feel like, and she's going to come out of the game here for Fowler.
Yeah, I think she needs a bit of a breather, and so having Victoria Fowler back where she can spell her a bit. And Victoria Fowler's older brother actually played for Coach Tedman on the boys' side at Sac and Venice, so it's so fun, the familiarity that he has with the older siblings. Barry's jump shot, no good, and Jasmine Rodriguez secures the rebound. Rodriguez pushed it ahead. See if the Capitals can get some early offense. That pass, I'm not sure if it was deflected. There's no signal that it was deflected. I think it's going to be a turnover on an over and back. It will.
Sacramento Adventist is just having such a hard time creating any offense right now. It just seems like all of their offensive sets are a little jumbled. They're a little disorganized. When they do get open shots, they're not knocking them down. They're playing pretty well on defense, honestly, considering the offensive firepower they're up against on the Faith Christian side. But they just have to get something going on the offensive side.
Well, such a big part of this 2-3 zone for Faith is usually you see your tallest player down low. Harris for three. Got it! Boy, she didn't have much room at all, but she knocks down her fourth triple of the game. But in this 2-3 zone with Barry out top, she has so much more length than what you would typically see at the top of a 2-3 zone, and it seems like it's given the Capitals a lot of problems.
That's really true. It's hard to almost even see your passing lanes when you have someone like Barry out there up front.
Meza from the corner. That's too strong. Fitzgerald another rebound, but Rodriguez steals it in the backcourt. Over to Friedrich. Friedrich goes right into Harris, loses it on the way up, and then just kind of tosses the pass out top. I think she thought she was going to get called for a walk. Fowler from the corner. Good! Victoria Fowler!
Well, you get a sense that if Sacramento Adventist is going to get back into this game, it's going to have to do something with Victoria Fowler, coming back in after injury, giving them a little bit of energy, and obviously she's a big-time player. She scored 15 points in last year's championship game.
Harris for three, in and out. Rebound, Fowler fighting for it. I believe she is fouled. She is. That's going to be 3 on Barry. So now it's 3 on Barry. I jumped the gun earlier, maybe a little foresight on my part.
That's really big. Because you'd have to think that Jeff Harris is going to have to take Barry out of the game for some sort of an extended period. And that may open up some things for Sacramento Adventist, not just on the defensive end because you have one less threat to stop, but also, as we talked about, on the offensive end, now with not having Barry up there in that front court action on the 2-3 zone.
First free throw from Fowler is good. How about that? Fowler hasn't played in quite some time, and she steps up in this court, knocks down a 3. Now she hits her first free throw, and a timeout, Faith Christian, a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here with you. And you can hear it. They call their student section the Red Sea, and every time Victoria Fowler checks into the game or touches the basketball, or especially when she knocked down that triple, they're going nuts for Fowler.
Yeah, and it's crazy. You talked about how small these two schools are. I hope they're not having class today, because if there is class, there's no one there.
Sac and Venice is definitely off of school today. I was told they are out of school, no classes today.
I'd hate to be the one kid who showed up to school and you're just sitting there with the teacher, like, where did everyone go?
I don't think you even find a teacher there. So Fowler's second free throw rolls around and in. So 5 points in the game for Fowler. Her and Michaela Meza lead the way for the Capitals. 26-14 the score. Just over a minute to play here first half.
Well, I know you said she hasn't played much this year, but I'm not seeing much rust on Victoria Fowler so far.
I think most of it's about conditioning. right? You're not in game shape after taking that much time off. And there's Lauren Harris, loses out of bounds, saves it, but the Capitals in possession. Now they want to push it. Here's Friedrich. Friedrich drives the lane. Oh, and she tries a wraparound pass to Fowler, and it just goes off of Fowler's hands. And I love the leadership there from Fowler, your senior. She comes right over. High five to Kyla Friedrich, the youngster, and says, hey, it's okay, we'll get the next one.
Well, we're talking about conditioning, obviously the fact she hasn't played a lot this year, and you said she's not going to get a ton of minutes in today's game, but I don't know. If I'm Scott Tedman, I'm going to have a hard time taking Victoria Fowler out of this game right now.
I don't know if he expected this sort of contribution in the first half from her. Here's Fowler with a near steal. Oh, how about that? I mean, this is a physical basketball game and a junk ball. Rodriguez and Fitzgerald tie it up, and it'll go to the Capitals. Shot clock turned off.
Well, Victoria Fowler is really the only person, I guess, besides Plessé. I mean, Plessé does a good job with the size she has, but she's really the only person with size who can kind of match up against the Faith Christian team, and you can tell.
Rosick for three. Too strong. Long rebound. Tied up. And now it'll favor the Lions.
Yeah, either way, you could tell that Fowler's size is opening things up just a little bit for Sacramento Adventist, where they didn't have that before.
And it almost feels like they also have a different mentality with her on the floor. Like, she is every bit the leader. Oh, and here's a loose ball, and it's going to be a foul, I think, on Harris. So it's just a second foul on Harris, but it's going to send Rosick to the line with 4.1 seconds to go. The Capitals, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. The junior, Gwen Rosick, second leading scorer on the team, averaging 10.3 points a game. I mean, she is a stat sheet stuffer. 8.4 rebounds. First free throw's good. 3.6 assists, 4.5 steals per game. What more could you ask for from this kid? She is kind of the vocal leader of this team, especially with Fowler out. Here's Harris. Harris from half court. Good if it goes. Just short as the Capitals end the half nicely, but the Lions, 12 points from Lauren Harris. Presley Berry has 12, and the Lions lead it 26-16 after one half of basketball. We'll be back for the second half from the Golden One Center here on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. About a minute to go before the second half begins here in the CIF Sac Joaquin section. Division 6 Girls Basketball Championship. We welcome you to the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions, to the Golden One Center. Our first of 12 games over the next 2 days. First of 6 today. The even number divisions are today. Odd number divisions tomorrow. Alongside my broadcast partner, Kyle Morrison, I'm Matthew Bissett. Kyle, early on, Faith was looking dominant, especially in the latter stages of that first quarter. That's when they really took control of this basketball game after a slow start offensively. But the Capitals finished that first half strong, and they do face a 10-point deficit, which can be tough to overcome, especially when you're not shooting the ball that well. I mean, right now you see from the field, the Capitals are 3 of 29 from the field. I mean, Faith Christian not exactly torching the nets on fire, 7 of 26, but... And we mentioned offense can be hard to come by in this big arena because it looks so much different than what you're used to. But both teams, I thought, had moments that first half they should feel good about, but certainly plenty of stuff to work on as we head towards the second half.
Yeah, on the Faith Christian side, it was really what you expected. Lauren Harris was lighting it up from 3, and Presley Berry was having her way inside. But something very interesting to watch, Presley Berry has 3 fouls right now, and considering how top-heavy the Faith Christian team can be with scoring with Harris and Berry, I think that gives Sacramento Adventists a little bit of room to operate, especially considering the energy that Victoria Fowler has given them since she's come into the game.
And Fowler starting the second half, a 3 early on by Jasmine Rodriguez off the mark, and Michaela Meza gets the offensive rebound. Good job by Meza there to get to the glass, and there's a take by Friedrich. Great defense by Harris as she walls up and makes it a tough finish there for the sophomore Friedrich. And they're going to double, maybe even triple team Lauren Harris here. As Barry navigating the screen, gives it back to Harris. Harris has her shot blocked, but she's fouled. And that's going to send Harris to the line. And for Friedrich, that's her second personal. And now Harris will head to the line. 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist in that first half. And now her first trip to the charity stripe as she hits the first. I continue to say it, the free throw shooting in this game has been remarkable. Right now, the Capitals 8 of 8, and the Lions 8 of 9, pending the second free throw from Harris, as they're now 9 of 10.
Harris is an elite free throw shooter, especially at the high school level, 76% free throw shooter.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like much, but that is a fantastic percentage at the high school level. You're not seeing many. Oh, here's a steal by Mia Bryan. Oh, Bryan loses it right back and then gains it right back. And then loses it. It's a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Lions. Great effort there by Mia Bryan.
Well, you can tell Sacramento Adventists is definitely hustling out there. They're definitely playing really, really hard. We'll see if that's enough. Right now, Faith Christian just has the athletic advantage.
Harris gets open from 3. Short. Rebound, Bryan. She goes up and she is fouled. And this will send Mia Bryan to the line. So the sophomore headed to the charity stripe. She averages 12.3 points a game, just a shade under 6 rebounds a game.
That's where it could almost feel unfair if you're Sacramento Adventist. I mean, you do a great job in that possession. You get Lauren Harris to miss a shot. You're guarding Presley Berry. And then Mia Bryan, their other star, is just right underneath the basket, get the rebound and gets to the line.
And Bryan hits the first free throw. Second free throw for Bryan is too strong, and Rosick takes the rebound running. The Capitals still try to figure out this zone. Good hands by Barry there. She knocks it away, regained by the Capitals. Here's Fowler in the post. Fowler wants to go right at Harris. A little up and under by Fowler. Can't get it to go, but she's fouled. And this will send Victoria Fowler to the line. Boy, if this performance by Fowler continues, they're going to have to nickname her Victoria Willis Reed Fowler. This is a kid. I mean, they weren't even sure a week ago that she would even be able to suit up. And then as time progressed, all of a sudden she's able to play here. And, there was some sort of sound issue right as the free throw was taken. And Coach Tedman does not look pleased with that because it was right on the release of the basketball for Fowler. And it was loud here in the arena. Deep 3 by Harris, and this one's short. Missed everything.
That's an NBA-level heat check right there. That was a tough shot, to say the least, but when you're Lauren Harris, sometimes you have the leeway to put up tough shots.
She's one of the best shooters in the country, and she has in the gym range, as they call it, Friedrich goes to the hoop, can't get the scoop to go, and Harris comes away with the rebound. Now Lauren Harris will push, always with that head up, looking for a teammate. Crossover dribble, and there's going to be a foul.
Yeah, Lauren Harris is one of those players that you got to start guarding when she's eating breakfast in the morning.
I'm sure if you gave Coach Tedman an option, he would have. He would have been up in Yuba City just making sure she's uncomfortable, even from the moment she's having a bagel this morning. Harris trapped, gets over to Barry. Barry for three. Too strong. Mia Bryan, another offensive rebound. Has it knocked away, but she's fouled. I think that's going to go on Rodriguez, and that'll be her third.
That size from Faith Christian is just so tough to deal with when you don't have anyone besides Fowler who can match up with it.
Quick inbound play to Harris, and she hits the shot from the corner. I believe that's a two. That is a two-point basket for Harris, and right back is Rodriguez, who lays it up and in. Well, first time we've really seen the Capitals be able to get anything in transition.
Well, that's what Sacramento Adventist is going to have to do. They're going to have to take advantage of little nifty opportunities like that little leak out there by Rodriguez, and she does exactly what she's supposed to, puts it in.
Barry with the drive, and she has it knocked away, but she's fouled. Boy, and that's the fourth team foul on Sac Adventist already.
And that's what happens when you're dealing with a team that's just got such a size advantage. Those fouls just start racking up, and you can tell Faith Christian has noticed that, and they are taking advantage of that right now.
Presley Berry now 8 of 9 at the free throw line in this game. Now this young lady is just ready to play. Excuse me, that was the fifth team foul already on Sac Adventist. I guess not really much difference between 4 and 5 because you're shooting free throws the rest of the quarter no matter what. And this can be a full timeout. Sac Adventist 33-19 in the D6 Girls Championship game. We'll be back from the Golden One Center on the NFHS Network. Back at Golden One, Coach Tedman took a full timeout there, won a few words with his girls as the lead is up to 14. I believe it's the largest it's been, maybe 14-15, the largest lead that Faith Christian has had in this one. The Capitals have never led. They were tied at 4-4 before a big run by Faith Christian in that first quarter. Here's Rodriguez. Rosick to the hoop. Rosick can't get it to go, and that's 10 rebounds for Harris. Long outlet pass to Mia Bryan. Bryan goes in, and she's fouled. Oh, whistles are starting to pile up here. Let's see, this one's on. This is going to be on Kyla Friedrich. So that's the third on Kyla Friedrich. And now Mia Bryan at the line. Split a pair of free throws a few moments ago. Can't connect on the first. Well, you mentioned the size of Faith Christian. You know, you alluded to it right after an offensive rebound by Bryan. The funny thing is, of the three kind of stars for Faith Christian, she's the shortest of the group, but she does the most damage on the offensive glass just by virtue of the position she plays, and she can't convert either free throw. And Fitzgerald's going to be called for the foul on the rebound. That's just the second team foul on Faith Christian.
Well, you know, rebounding, obviously size helps. So really what rebounding is a hustle stat, right? It's your ability and your willingness to do the dirty work, get inside, and work against other bodies to try to get the ball. And that's exactly what Mia Bryan does. She's willing to do that dirty work, and that's why she fits so well with this team.
So the clock didn't start on time there, so they're going to take a couple seconds off of the game clock and the shot clock. 27 seconds on the shot clock.
And you can tell there's some frustration now coming from Gwen Rosick out there for Sacramento Adventist, kind of sarcastically passing the ball back to the referee as they're trying to figure out this clock right now.
I think the Capitals, right? I mean, we've only seen one player come off the bench for either team, but the Capitals certainly want to get out and run, and they think that's the strength of their team as Fowler goes glass.
That's a really important play right there. Just someone in Victoria Fowler who can break that 2-3 zone and do something inside.
Here's Brian down low. Brian goes up. Can't get it to go, but there's a foul. And this is going to send Brian right back to the line. And that's going to be on Michaela Meza.
Capitals, number 5, Michaela Meza, her third. Brian back to the line, shooting a pair.
So 3 on Meza, 3 on Rodriguez, 3 on Friedrich. Some real foul trouble for the Capitals as Mia Bryan hits the first free throw. She's up to 4 points in the game.
Yeah, as these fouls start to stack up, Scott Tedman's going to have to start thinking about who he wants to put in as a sub, because right now it just seems like every time on the defensive end they're fouling Faith Christian.
So Bryan hits both free throws, and that pass is going to go right between the legs of Friedrich and out for a turnover.
And it's those plays you just can't have if you're Sacramento Adventist. You're already at enough of a disadvantage with the athletic disadvantage. You can't be making sloppy plays like that. That's just not going to lead to a winning effort.
Here's Harris across midcourt. Harris. Cross-court pass over to Hessong, and she has her shot blocked, but she's fouled. And that'll be on Meza. That's 4 on Meza.
Hessong has only taken 4 free throws this entire season.
Big free throws here as Hessong steps up, and the first one just off the mark. She averages 4.7 rebounds a game. Just over a point per contest. But again, Fitzgerald and Hessong, they know their role, and they play it so well, and there's just a trust in this team, and there's a sacrificial level of this thing hooked to them because they're just willing to sacrifice for the better good of the team, even if it doesn't mean individual glory, and that's what a team takes. Here's Rosick. Over to Friedrich. Friedrich drives baseline, looking for Placea. So this is the first time, Kyle, that we've seen Placea and Fowler on the court together.
And I really like that. I mean, right now, the biggest issue Sacramento Adventist is struggling with is the Faith Christian size. So get your 2 players who can play down in the post and see if they can do some work.
Here's Rodriguez. Drives and kicks. Friedrich from the wing. 3 balls off the mark, and Fowler keeps it alive. That's a great job of going up over the top but not fouling. Rosick for 3. Too strong. Fowler, another offensive rebound. Fowler up with the left hand, and she gets it to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fowler is not letting her team.
Sacramento's Willis Reed is in the building here today as Fowler now up to 10 points in the game, and it's still a 12-point game, but Capitals, they've had a few moments, Kyle, where it seems like they're stabilizing as the full timeout Faith Christian, but we'll stay right here. But the Capitals stabilized a couple times, but you got to figure they need one burst where they're going to really put some doubt in the minds of Faith Christian. Because right now, to me, Faith looks comfortable, and it's a testament to Coach Harris and these girls that have so much playoff experience. They just don't look like they're capable of being rattled right now.
Yeah, 2 for 21 right now from 3-point range is Sacramento Adventist. You have to feel like Victoria Fowler's keeping them in the game with her hustle plays, but they're going to have to knock down some threes. They're going to have to get the shooting going a little bit if they want to get back into this game for real or even possibly threaten it winning it. But until they're able to make some shots, no matter how much Victoria Fowler does to keep them in the game, they're not going to be able to get over that hump that you're talking about.
Yeah, and this Faith Christian team, they are no joke. Most wins in school history, best team record of all time. This is their first solo league championship in the SMAL. Presley Berry went over 1,000 points this year. Lauren Harris went over 2,000 points this year. Lauren also went over 1,000 rebounds for her career. Here's Harris with it. Harris, cross-court pass to Berry. Berry lines up a triple. This one's off the mark. Rebound secured by Hessong, and she's fouled. This will put Hessong back to the line, and this foul's going to be on Fowler.
Fouls on the Capitals, number 10, Fowler.
So send Hannah Hessong back to the line.
Hessong back to the line, shooting 2
you don't want to foul anyone, but if you're going to foul someone, I don't think this is the worst case scenario here for Adventist. You get Hessong at the line, you get the ball out of Harris's and Barry's hands.
Oh, and Hessong just made you pay for those words. She knocks down the first free throw. The junior. Second free throw here. Off the mark, and Fowler with the rebound. Look at Fowler, she wants to push it. Fowler over to Friedrich. Friedrich goes glass, no good. Barry with the rebound, or Karems to Harris. Harris loses it, gets it right back. Harris down on the ground for the loose ball. Look at this battle here. And the loose ball, it'll be a jump ball. I believe the possession arrow favors the Capitals. It does. Well, big turnover force there by Sac Adventist.
Well, last 3 minutes here in the third quarter, Sacramento Adventist, I think they really got to get this within a 10-point game going into the fourth if they were going to have any sort of momentum or any chance of winning this game.
Rosick out to Rodriguez. There's Fowler. Fowler down to Rodriguez. Short jump shot, no good. I think Fitzgerald might have got a piece of that one. Here's Harris. Cross midcourt. Harris down low to Barry. Look at that feed, and then Barry goes up. Oh, 3 in the key. That's a quick 3 in the key call. I didn't think Lauren Harris had been across half court for 3 seconds, but it's a bit of a quick call there. 2:32 to go here, first half, or third quarter, excuse me. Rosick the drive. Rosick goes glass, no good. How about the rebound there by Hessong? Here comes Mia Bryan. Bryan gets right to the cup, can't finish, but Barry's there. And then she is fouled. And that's going to be 4 on Victoria Fowler.
Fouls on the Capitals.
This is just becoming a parade to the line right now for Faith Christian. Every single time they come down the floor, it seems like they're getting fouled and they're getting to the line. And that's probably part of the strategy from Jeff Harris, considering the size advantage they have.
Well, you know, and they've maintained this. They've been the aggressor. And so remember, this game, each team had attempted 8 free throws apiece at one point. Now the free throw count 23-10. And really, it's just Faith Christian has been the team that's getting to the rim. And they're doing a nice job of it. Barry makes 1 of 2 there.
Now Fowler is out of the game. Scott Tedman had a take, really, who's been his best player so far today, out of the game because of the 4 fouls.
And we got Tamara and Jelkovic in the game for the first time for the Capitals. With Meza and Fowler each having 4. They both sit. Rosick down low to Friedrich. Friedrich just surrounded there. Good job tracking down the loose ball. Barry nearly comes up with a steal. But with 4 seconds to shoot on the shot clock, it'll be stay with the Capitals.
Sacramento Adventist, and look, they can prove me wrong. I hope they do, but it just seems that without Fowler in the game, they just don't have the size to really match up at all with Faith Christian.
Here's Rosick for 3. Just a bit too strong. Rebound, Placea. She goes back up. No good. And Jelkovic. So Angelkovic, I think, tipped that first rebound that Placea came away with, and then Angelkovic is fouled. That's team foul number 3 in the quarter on Faith Christian, the 3rd on Hessong. And now here's Rodriguez over to Rosick. And an offensive foul on Angelkovic.
Offensive foul against the Capitals, charge number 23, Angelkovic.
And that size, it doesn't just affect the interior. I mean, you already talked about the fact that Presley Barry really affects even backcourt shots. But also just like, because you can't penetrate the interior, not getting any open jump shots, all your jump shots are contested, and that's what Adventist is dealing with right now.
Barry's step back jumper is no good, and the ball will go back to the Capitals. Capitals have 17 fouls as a team in this game, 12 for Faith Christian, and for 2 teams that really don't go deep into their benches, that's what can really hurt you in these games. Rodriguez drives right in, the floater can't find the range. Placea with the rebound, has that pass deflected. Here comes Bryan on the break, being tracked down by Friedrich. Bryan goes up, can't get it to go. Rebound, Karems to Friedrich. And now the Capitals want to push. Friedrich goes in, can't get it to go, but she's fouled.
when they've been able to take advantage of it, that's been the one area that Sacramento Adventist has had some success, kind of in transition. We've seen it a couple times now. It's just a matter of can they get those transition opportunities.
And the lack of, opportunities, a lot of it has to do with Faith Christian being an efficient offense, and they can obviously score the ball. They haven't had a lot of live ball turnovers, and they do a great job of getting back on defense. So a lot of that, it has to do with the way that Faith Christian plays the game, as Friedrich knocks down both free throws. She got 4 points in the game, all from the charity stripe.
It's also really hard to get transition opportunities when the other team's at the free throw line all the time.
Coach Harris calls for a 2-for-1, but he's not going to get it because it's going to be an offensive foul on Faith.
Despite all the things that we're talking about, despite the clear advantages that Faith Christian has almost in every facet of the game, Sacramento Adventist just doesn't go away. They're still within 12 points. If they can get this to single digits, they have a shot in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Coach Tedman says this team's really taken on his personality, and he says they are some dogs out there. And here's Rosick. Over to Rodriguez. They're trying to get it to Placea at the free throw line. Here's Friedrich. Out to Rodriguez. 6 seconds to shoot. Rodriguez drives the lane. The floater. In and out. Harris with the rebound. Shot clock turned off. Harris brings it across midcourt. Down to Berry. Berry just bullies her way to the cup. That's a strong move by Presley Berry. I think Angelkovic is going to be called for the foul. It is on Angelkovic. That's her second. And now Berry will go back to the line.
There's nothing much you can do about that.
Berry's 10 of 12 at the line in this game, making 11 of 13. As her and Harris have 16 points apiece.
I think a really interesting storyline here going into the fourth is how early does Scott Tedman put Victoria Fowler back into the game with the 4 fouls? I feel like you got to get her in there sooner rather than later, or you let this game kind of start to slip away.
Yeah, I mean, you can lose with her on the bench with 4 fouls, or you can lose with her on the bench with 5 fouls, but I think you got to roll the dice and put her back in there. Meza as well. Friedrich for 3. This one's short. Rebound, Placea. Placea goes back up, and I think Berry got a piece of that one. As the horn sounds to end the third quarter, the Lions take a 14-point lead into the fourth. We'll be back from Golden One Center here on the NFHS Network. Eight minutes left in regulation. Game 1 of the day here at the Golden One Center. Once again, alongside my broadcast partner, Kyle Morrison, I'm Matthew Bissett. As the Capitals of Sac Adventist, the defending D6 champions, are in a hole right now, but this Faith Christian team, they have just, not their best shooting day of the year for sure, but they have really been in control really since the latter stages of that first quarter.
And Scott Tedman has answered my question that I had in the third quarter. Victoria Fowler is back out there with the 4 fouls.
As is Michaela Meza. So, again, you can let this lead balloon without him on the floor, or you can put him in there and see what happens. And that's going to be a moving screen on Bryan. That's just the second foul on Mia Bryan. As Rosick to inbound. So Capitals get a turnover here to start the fourth. Friedrich out to Fowler. Fowler drives. Fowler goes right in. Lefty, no good. Harris does a great job of just standing tall there in the lane. And here comes Lauren Harris. Harris down low, pass deflected. Oh, and a hard collision there as Barry was going for the basketball, but
Fouls on the Capitals, number 21.
ran into the back of Gwen Rosick, but it's going to take more than that to get Rosick off the floor, as that's now 4 on Barry.
That's a big development right there. If you're going to have any sort of window to come back in this thing, if you're Sacramento Adventists, the window gets a little bit bigger if Barry fouls out of this game. You can see Scott Tebben there trying to rally his fans there right behind him.
They need the support right now. Here's Rosick, the runner. Too strong, and really Sac Adventists just can't find ways to string together buckets, and that's been it.
Even when they do have open opportunities, which are few and far between, it seems like they're just not converting as many of them as they would need to stay in this game.
Here's Harris. Harris from the mid-range, no good, and she's fouled. And this is going to go on, they called it on 23, but she's not on the floor. I think they mean 21. If they get that right, that's going to be number 4 on Friedrich. Harris misses the free throw.
And the ref just confirmed it. It's 21. So now 4 fouls on Friedrich.
Harris misses both free throws, so the Capitals a little bit of an opportunity here. Here's Friedrich to the rim, can't get it to go. Fowler with the rebound, and it's going to be tied up. Jump ball, possession arrow favors the Capitals.
Well, if Sacramento Adventists is going to make a move, they're going to need to make it quickly here with 6:49 left in the fourth, starting to run out of time.
Here's Rodriguez. Over to Rosick. Rodriguez. Out to Meza. She'll fire from deep, and this one's short. Rebound. Hessong comes away with it.
The shots just have not been falling. 2 for 24 now from three-point range. 6 for 51 from the field overall.
Here's Barry. Nice feed from Harris. Barry rises up. No good. Rosick with the rebound. There comes Rosick in transition, down low to Friedrich. Friedrich goes in, and she lays it up and in. Boy, Harris did a nice job to pull the chair there on Friedrich. Friedrich with the touch to finish it. That's the first field goal of the game for Kyla Friedrich. But let's just stay on the air. It's a full timeout for Sac Adventist. We'll stay. We got plenty of things to talk about here in this first game of the day. Our voices aren't gone just yet, Kyle. This Faith Christian team, though, I mean, you talk about, student athletes. They got 5 girls on their team over a 4.0 grade point average. I mean, these girls are getting it done in the classroom and on the court. Coach Harris has marveled at the way these kids have just bonded. They're truly like a family. They hang out together, they dance together, they have fun together, and obviously winning always makes that easier, but it's I think the continuity and the chemistry goes a long way to the success this program has had. So many championship appearances. I mean, heck, Lauren Harris doesn't know what it's like to not make a section championship. Presley Berry doesn't know what it's like to not make a section championship. Mia Bryan doesn't know what it's like. None of them know what it's like to not be on this big stage.
Yeah, and that's what you call culture. And culture is what breeds winning, and winning is what breeds greatness. And on that Faith Christian side, there is just an incredible culture of winning and culture of greatness that Jeff Harris has been able to build, and he deserves a lot of credit for that as this program continues to achieve incredible things in Division VI and in California overall.
So substitution coming in here for the Lions. And I think they're going to make Fitzgerald wait until the next dead ball, as they didn't have her at the scorer's table or checked in time after the timeout. There's Rodriguez pestering Harris in the backcourt. Rodriguez has 3 fouls. Fowler, Friedrich, and Meza all on the floor with 4 for the Capitals. Look at this defense on Harris. She gets to her left hand, rises up, mid-range pull-up, good! Silky smooth from Lauren Harris.
That makes the three-pointer even harder to guard with a shooter like Harris when she can just go past you when you're guarding her up on the perimeter and make that mid-range.
Fowler in the lane, out to Rodriguez. Rosick from 3. This one's too strong. Rebound, Hessong. She goes and attacks that one. Lead remains 14. It was a 10-point lead at the half, a 14-point lead at the end of 3. And they're going to reset the shot clock to 25 seconds.
Rosick has just not been able to get the shot going. I mean, if it wasn't for Lauren Harris, we'd be talking about Rosick as the elite shooter in this game. She was second in the Sacramento Metro League in three-pointers made, behind, of course, Lauren Harris. 51 three-pointers made for Rosick. But today, Rosick just has not been able to get the shot to fall.
So Rodriguez doing a good job of hounding the ball in the backcourt. But again, really, you look at this game, I mean, the problem hasn't been Sac Adventist defense. In the 2 regular season games that Faith Christian won between these two teams, Faith had 52 and 66 points, and now with 5:30 to go in the game, they sit at 41. So the Capitals' issue has not been defense, that's for sure. Harris trapped. Over to Hessong, right back to Harris. Harris loses it. It's going to go out of bounds off of the Capitals, though, with 4.7 to shoot. So started this possession really good defensively for the Capitals. Can they finish it, though?
Yeah, and look, you're going to have a tough time defensively anytime you're playing a guy.
Oh, they get into Barry. Barry got free, and she is fouled. And that's going to be 5 on Fowler.
Anytime you're playing against offensive talents such as Barry or Harris, you're going to have a hard time on defense. But to your point, Matt, I really like the way that Sacramento Adventist has defended both of those players. They've been throwing lots of different bodies at both of them. They've kind of gotten Faith Christian out of their offensive sets here and there. But to your point, it really has been the shot making or the lack thereof for Sacramento Adventist. If they make a few more of those open looks, we're probably talking about a much closer game.
Into the Capitals, number 13, Bella Placea.
I believe Fowler just fouled out.
And listen to the ovation for Fowler. I mean, again, that's not the hugest crowd here, but, I mean, there's a true respect and admiration for that girl coming out and playing today. Suffered a knee injury earlier in the year. Hasn't played in over a month. And, boy, I mean, what a performance from her today. She checks out with 9 points in the game.
That's the heart of a champion right there.
10 points in the game. Here's Rodriguez. Both free throws are no good. Still 14-point deficit here for the Capitals. Meza dribbles it off her leg and out of bounds. And it's back to Faith Christian.
And I think the thing you have to remember is, although it's not going to work out for them today, it looks like, Sacramento Adventist is still a championship team. They won a championship last year, and we've seen that kind of effort from them. Unfortunately, they've bumped into a Faith Christian team today that is just a juggernaut so far during this season.
So 4:57 to go in the game. Full timeout, Sac Adventist. We'll be back here on the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions. Back out of the timeout. Just under 5 minutes to play in this one. Faith Christian looking for their second ever section championship in school history. Won it in 23, lost in 24. And there's a foul on Presley Berry. That's going to be 5. So one moment, Victoria Fowler fouls out, and now Presley Berry's going to be out.
And Barry's almost in disbelief out there. I don't know if she realized she was at 5 fouls or she's just like in absolute confusion about the call. But as she comes off the court, I mean, she had quite the impact in the game. We'll see if this opens the door a little bit for Sacramento Adventist.
Yeah, I mean, the whistle's been a bit tight this game, but I feel like the refs have been consistent with it, right? And it's kind of on both these teams to adjust. Rosick down low to Placea. Placea out to Meza, her 3. That's off the mark. Rebound, strong rebound by Hessong. And Hessong, that's her 9th rebound of the game. Here's Harris over to Bryan. Bryan in attack mode, has it stolen away by Rodriguez, and they're going to call a jump ball.
Jump ball, possession Lions.
And the possession does favor Faith Christian.
That was another close one right there. That could have gone either way, 50-50. They call it a jump ball, but it looked like to me that Rodriguez had the ball in her hands.
Here's Harris. Rodriguez hounding her. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham from the elbow. This one's off the mark. Rebound secured by Rosick. Now here comes Meza. Friedrich from the corner. Off the mark, and Cunningham with the rebound.
Just nothing is falling. 2 for 27 now on three-pointers.
And a foul in the backcourt, and it's going to be on Meza. That's her 5th.
It's not like all these looks.
They had the wrong number. There's no way. That's got to be on. That's on 2. Okay. I was going to say, Meza's all the way down here. I don't know how they got that foul on her. So that's 4 on Rodriguez. So Fowler already fouled out. Rodriguez, Meza, and Friedrich with 4 apiece all in the game right now. Cunningham gets it back to Harris. Harris for 3. Short. Strong rebound there, Michaela Meza, but then she was about to travel as she fell to the ground, and she turns it over. Harris again from 3. Got it! Lauren Harris knocks down another triple, her 5th of the game, and she's up to 21 points in the contest. And with 3:24 to go, it's now a 17-point lead, the largest of the game for the Lions. We'll be back here as a full timeout on the floor. We'll be back from the Golden One Center. Lauren Harris, sensational in her career. The leading scorer all time in the history of this Faith Christian girls basketball program. Overtook her older sister, Audrey Harris, in that category. Rosick with the drive. Rosick too strong. Hessong, she's in double digits with 10 rebounds. Yeah, I covered a team when I was in Washington, Kyle, that had Tari Eason and Jaden McDaniels on that team.
Wow.
Federal Way High School. Both guys that made it to the NBA as Harris pulls up in the mid-range. I'll get to my point here in a moment. And, talking to the coach, I talked about what it's like to, how do you coach this team when you got 2 guys that are NBA bound? As Friedrich goes in, and he said, I tell all my guys, you're a star in your role. And Hannah Hessong and company, they are stars in their role. We might talk about Lauren Harris and Presley Berry and Mia Bryan, a lot, and they certainly deserve all that talk, but Hannah Hessong, 10 rebounds up there, that's big in a game like this.
For every Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, you need your Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the reference I'd go with, right? the ankle snatcher. And I'm a Warrior fan, but timeout Coach Tedman. But no, the point I'm making is, right, you find ways to impact the basketball game. And Hannah Hessong and Abby Fitzgerald, Mandy Fitzgerald and Abby Cunningham, they've all found ways to impact the basketball game. Right, we've seen a few moving screens called out here today, but for the most part, those are your screen setters. Those are the ones, hey, we're going to get our players up, and they are the most selfless individuals on the floor because they're willing to, they put in the work. They show up to every practice like these other girls, and they put in all this work, and boy, really cool. Double-digit rebounds up on the scoreboard at the Golden One Center for Hannah Hessong, but this Lauren Harris, she is something special. 23 points, 15 rebounds. A little low on the assist numbers. Her season average is 7 assists per game. So she only got 1 here today. But again, that's in due and large parts of the defense being played from both sides, right? It's so much fun to talk about offense, Kyle, but both these teams really getting after it defensively, and the shooting numbers for both teams certainly show how good a defense is being played out there.
I mean, yeah, Faith Christian, talk about their offensive attack, and they have some great offensive players. When you hold a team to 12% shooting from the field, that is insane. And something, part of that is missed shots by Sacramento Adventist, but part of that is just the length that Faith Christian has on their defensive end, and the fact their 2-3 zone has pretty much been unpenetratable this entire game.
They're very much in sync in that 2-3 zone. That's the key there. Rosick for three. Short. And Rosick gets her own miss, goes back up, finishes. Rosick with 6 points in the game. And stick around, post-game we'll have an interview with our player of the game, and I do believe it'll probably be the person wearing number 5 for Faith Christian with the ball in her hands now. She gets her across midcourt to Fitzgerald. Now here's the try from Bryan, and she finishes off glass. Mia Bryan's up to 7 points in the game.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to interview the one who's getting triple teamed before she passes midcourt.
Triple teamed about 70 feet from the hoop. Bella Placea, and that's, kind of this game in a nutshell for the Capitals. Placea gets in there, position for an offensive rebound, and just can't quite handle it.
I mean, what a season, though, for Sacramento Adventist. You go through the adversity of losing your head coach. Scott Tedman takes over, does a very admirable job. You get yourself to the San Joaquin Section Championship game. Despite the fact Faith Christian's going to get all the praise today, as they deserve so, winning this championship, I think Sacramento Adventist deserves a lot of credit for the effort they put together this season.
Right. You think about how many teams want to be here and are not, right? Losing in this game certainly is not what you're striving for, but getting here is an accomplishment, and don't let today's results take away from that. As the bench is emptied for the Capitals, they're going to get Bryn Beeman in the game. I believe Ivy Rasmussen is out there. Carolyn Henderson out in the game for Sac Adventist. Havila Baga in the game, and who am I missing here? Number 24, Abby Crary. This is passed down low to Bryan. Fitzgerald with a nice dish down low, and Bryan finishes it. The lead is up to 21. As that's going to be a turnover back to Faith Christian. And checked into the game a moment ago was Ella Haberly, the freshman for Faith Christian. And boy, this is cool. I mean, the awareness for both coaches to make sure in this game, given that the result is not in doubt, make sure these girls can touch the floor here at the Golden One Center. Leanne Wagner into the game for the Capitals. Kimber Cunningham, Amber Smith, and Kiana Marin are all in the game for Faith Christian as well. And the coaches call a timeout, doing us a favor so we can make sure we get all those names in. And that's important, man, because it's just, again, making it here, no matter what capacity you're playing in, no matter the result of the game, that's the accomplishment. And no matter if you're the last girl on the bench or the star player, you had a hand in helping your team make it here.
And that's the classy move, right? That's the classy move. Getting those players off the end of the bench who maybe you don't sub in if this is just a normal venue, getting them in so they can touch the floor, like you said, at the Golden One Center. I think that's a really, really classy move. They're obviously in a game that's gotten away from you, from both coaches, making sure that you get as many girls as you can on this floor so they can have this memory of at least playing on this court.
And here's a shot attempt by Smith. No good. Fitzgerald, no good, and the rebound secured by the Capitals. Here's Bryn Beeman. She is the fourth Beeman that Coach Tedman has coached at Sac Adventist. Her three older brothers played for Coach Tedman. Brecken, coach says the best player in school history, and look at that, Caroline Henderson, the freshman, knocks down the free throw line jumper. And another timeout by Faith Christian. They're going to get Esther Borlein in the game for the first time. And again, this is how you build a culture, a winning program. You have kids that want to play for you, as you make sure in these moments you're letting all these players touch the floor. And again, who doesn't want to touch the floor? Heck, I make sure when I come in here, I get to step foot on this floor at Golden One Center. And I've been lucky enough to be here for 4 straight years covering these section championships. but it doesn't get old being out here.
I'll tell you what, Matt, if I were one of these players coming here at the end of the game, 19-point game, I'm pulling up from the logo.
Yeah. You know what I would do? I would try to pry up a piece of the hardwood and take it with me. I'd bring a crowbar and try.
Well, that may break a few rules there, Matt.
Faith Christian with all their bench in the game here. So Lauren Harris not in the game, but she will be with us after for a short interview as our player of the game.
It's usually a job well done if you're Lauren Harris when you get to rest on the bench at the end of the fourth quarter.
And they took her stats down for, I think it was 23 points, 14 rebounds, I believe was the final stats.
Just another day at the office.
Just another day at the office for Lauren Harris. Offensive rebound by Henderson. She puts it back up and in. Caroline Henderson, a couple of buckets off the bench, and that is a freshman, 6 feet tall. Nice moment for her to get a couple buckets. Now a chance at a three-point play. 19.7 seconds to go in the game, so the shot clock will be off the rest of the way. Stone Ridge Christian boys against Sac Waldorf boys coming up next here in the D6 Boys Championship game. This pass up ahead. This is Kiana Marin, and she finished it. The junior Marin with a bucket at Golden One. And that'll do it. The Faith Christian Lions with redemption as they take down their league foe, the Capitals of Sac Adventist, after falling to them 1 year ago at UC Davis. The Lions are back on top of D6 in the Sac Joaquin section. What a tremendous performance by these Lions, Kyle.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it was their star players who have led them all season, who led them to this win. You talked about Lauren Harris at 24 and 13. You talk about Presley Berry, the fact that she had such an impact down there in the post play. Really, Faith Christian relied on their stars to win this one, as well as some of those less talked about role players. And they played their game today. They played excellent defense, and ultimately they get redemption, like you said, against a team that beat them last year.
Yeah, I mean, no lack of familiarity between these two schools as they play for the third time, 2 consecutive years. And you see there's such a mutual respect. I mean, not a lot of down face even on the Capital side here as the losing team, but what an effort. I mean, Victoria Fowler, the fact that she was able to go tonight, ended up leading the team with 10 points, fouled out in a physical game, a game where the whistle was a bit tight. But such a great effort from her and the Capitals. But they were just unable to pull off the back-to-back feat here at Golden One. And we got Lauren Harris coming over right now to interview with us, and she'll be joining us right here at our table for a little post-game chat as our player of the game.
Here she comes, the star of the show.
Lauren, first of all, I think congratulations are in order. Congratulations for getting here, first of all, and congratulations on the win. And I know it was a hard-fought victory. Tell us what this Capitals team, and obviously there's so much familiarity there between them, but they clearly, they make you work so hard for your buckets, but you're able to do such a fantastic job of getting your teammates involved and find a way to get your shots. Tell us what they do that makes things hard for you, but also how do you overcome that to just push through and come up with performances like today?
They put a good amount of pressure on me. They put about 2 girls in there to help. So they first did it to me last year at UC Davis, so I remember that for my whole offseason. That's what I worked for this game today, and I'm glad I got to be here. But
just talk about how much easier it makes your life having a pick-and-roll partner like Presley Berry out there who, like, when you're getting pressured like you're talking about from Sacramento Adventist, you have that teammate that you can throw the ball to and know she can get a bucket as well.
Yeah, it's very helpful. Like, I trust her I could pass the ball and I could stand back in defense. I trust her so much. And definitely when she fouled out with 4 minutes to go or something like that, I got a little worried inside, and I was like, oh, I don't have my backbone to go back to. But she did really good today at the beginning. She started out really well.
And so you've been in the section championship game every year of your high school career so far. Are you aware that it's not supposed to be this easy? Are you aware of that? Because the rest of us know it, but I'm not sure you're fully aware that it's not supposed to be this easy to get back here year in and year out.
Yeah, every year I've had help. So it's not easy, but it's easy when you have a good team around you to help you get there.
Would you say there's a shot outside of your range?
No. Today maybe. I was not on today, but next time.
One last question, and we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate with your team. You play for your dad. You've gotten to play with your sister. It's clearly a family affair, not only for the Harrises, but it seems like your whole team is a family. Just talk a little bit about that and what that means to your team.
I think the difference from this year and last year is crazy. Like, we bond outside of school. We hang out every day. Even though our school is 40 kids, we still want to hang out with each other, even though we see each other constantly. And it's just every day we sing and dance a lot together. I think that makes our bond stronger because we're not afraid to be embarrassed together. So.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Lauren Harris, our player of the game. Lauren, please go celebrate with your team, and congratulations once again, okay?
Thank you so much.
Lauren Harris, 23 points, 14 rebounds in the game, our player of the game, and with the lights the brightest, the star for the Lions, Lauren Harris, she shines here at the Golden One Center, Kyle. I mean, not the most efficient day that this team has had all year, but that's basketball sometimes, and you can see that even though the shots maybe weren't falling as frequently as this team is used to, they did not falter one bit throughout.
No way, and we just talked to Lauren Harris. Even though she didn't have the most efficient day, you can just tell her gravity. The fact that you have to double team her when she's passing the midcourt, that just opens so many things for her teammates, including her pick and roll partner, Presley Berry. So even when she's not having a great shooting day, Lauren Harris is still the most impactful and still the best player on the floor because of the opportunities she's able to create for the rest of the offense.
And she is just spectacular. I mean, she is likely your player of the year for the very small schools in our section. I mean, just such a remarkable career. And she still has NorCals and who knows, maybe even a state championship berth coming up this year. And then beyond that, she has a whole senior season. So those accolades, and then she talked about it so eloquently that, you know, what these other girls mean to her, Presley Berry and Mia Bryan and the rest of the girls, and how close they are. And she just ultimately just gives credit and says, hey, I can't do this with a teammate without the teammates around me, which, you know, it's just refreshing to hear. We expect it, but it is also refreshing to hear that that's not lost on her, because it'd be so easy just to be caught up in this moment and talk about yourself, but she's aware of what her teammates mean to her in this moment.
It's a team, and she recognizes that. She recognizes she can't win without her team. And the thing that also really caught my attention from Lauren Harris, she talked about how Sacramento Adventist used that press against her last year. They were double teaming her last year, and they were throwing a lot of bodies against her last year, and how she took note of that, and that was one of the things she worked on in the offseason to be able to combat that press. That is a high level of maturity, and that is a high level of determination from a high school kid. And Lauren Harris, I mean, nothing but good things to say about her in those aspects.
So Lauren Harris and the Faith Christian Lions under her head coach and dad, Jeff Harris, you know, they get it done. 2 championships in the last 3 years, and that one in between, they were the runner-up. Not a bad run here for Faith Christian, but I'm sure they still have more up their sleeves in the years to come. These Capitals, what a remarkable year, battling all the adversity they had. They lost their head coach, not lost, but their head coach had to step away mid-season. And it was a bit tumultuous there. Your star player's down with an injury. We see what Victoria Fowler, even with a month plus off, is able to do on this court. And so for them to battle and get all the way to this point and really fight hard throughout, they just couldn't find the baskets they needed in the key moments today to overcome what Faith Christian has to offer. But certainly nothing to hang their heads about. Both these teams will be playing in the NorCals. Those brackets will be coming out on Sunday via the CIF, so we'll see where these two teams are headed after we get past this one. But what a way to start off these 12 games here at the Golden One Center. We thank all of you for joining us at home. For my crew here in the NFHS Network, courtesy of ABC Jam Productions, Nick Pecoraro on camera, my producer, Roland Fields Jr., my broadcast partner, Kyle Morrison. I'm Matthew Bassett saying so long, or see you later from Golden One.